everybody, Teacher Elaine here, coming to you with an update on my first week with DaDa and how it went. So, as you might have seen from my previous videos, a little skeptical on how this was all going to work, if it was going to be profitable, what should I expect, things like that. There are still some things that I like and don't like, but number one, I absolutely love the students. Oh my gosh, those kids are so cute, so smart, and so amazing. I love them. So I'm addicted. I have been on DaDa for 27 days. I have taught 3 students and 4 classes so far. Now, the first week, there was no classes. That was just like to see if you would show up on time, blah, blah, blah. No pay for that. So that I still don't like. The standby thing with no pay, I don't like that. If there's no classes, why do I have to show up? Well, apparently you have to be on standby, which means you could get like a last minute class. I have not had one of those yet. So it is unpaid time to be on standby. But when you have a class, it's really good. I really enjoyed my 4 classes that I've taught. I taught 2 older girls and 1 younger girl. And now, this week, I am fully booked. This is going to be my first week being fully booked, which is really exciting. All right, so my experience so far. The material is just the basics. Like the material they give you is your foundation. You are free to go off of that, expand. They even have training material on how to expand that. It's really good, especially if the child is advanced. I have had several advanced students where I expanded off of the material and asked like more about like their experience. Like for example, we did a birthday one where I talked about being invited and that word invited. And so I had her tell me about a time she was invited somewhere and so forth. So that's a good way to expand. Just watch the training videos. They're very helpful. One cool thing, a couple of cool things that I've noticed off of the app, awesome things. So you can check how much you're getting paid and it'll show you under your earnings, and you can see what your earnings are for each month. If you click on this line right here, it'll take you out. It'll take you out to see the previous month, and all you have to do is click on the month. All right, click on the month and then change the drop down here to be the prior month, and then you can see your pay for that month. Now, I haven't actually got the money put into my bank account yet, so I'm not sure how the pay in year part works 100% yet. So I actually sent an email asking, is that done automatically? Do I have to request withdraw? I wasn't sure. I rewatched the payment section, but I still wasn't very clear on that part. So in your schedule, it has in the red dots where the days are that you've selected. I've selected 1 hour every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just 1 hour in the morning. So I can do 2 classes at each day. And for this week, I will be fully booked. I have several formal students, and I had 1 interest class, and now I have all formal students. So it did not take me long to get all formal students. Now, I am not 100% sure on how long formal students will stick with you. I think it just depends on how they like you and stuff. So the stability factor on that is really interesting. So I've only been doing this for a few weeks. It's my understanding that you do get a perk for stable students or students who stick with you, and I do see that. But what if those students go away from you? Are they gonna your time slot's gonna fill up soon? Are they not? You know, that's something that I'm not 100% sure about. And I would expect that it's just based off of people who are interested in you, which leads me into my next really cool thing. So inside here, if you click on students, right there, if you click on students, it will take you in and it'll show you a list of your regular students. Up at the top there it'll say regular students. I don't know if you can see that or not. But you'll see regular students, and then you can click on the drop down and you can click followers. And you can have followers, which is something I just learned about. And right now I have like 70 followers, which I think is a lot, which is really cool because those are like students who are interested in you. And this is all based off of that initial welcome video that you create. So make sure to really put a lot of effort into that welcome video. I put background music. I don't even remember. I had just like all this stuff. Like it was really cool. I had my cat. So good to do a really good job on that 30 to 40 second welcome video because that's how they're going to follow you and pick you and I guess like you, so to say. One other thing I would mention is about the students and about the training. Having the props, having the little toys, things like that have been really helpful when it comes to explaining. Like, for example, dairy. I pulled up my little cow. You know, dairy comes from cows. So, like milk and yogurt and cheese. So, things like that are really helpful for both older and younger students. Now, older students, I don't use props that much for. It depends on the word we're learning and things like that. Like we learned the word aside and I held up 2 cups and I was like, to get to my coffee, I have to move my water to the side, aside, you know, for example. So I used just stuff that was on my desk at that time. But props are really helpful. Definitely need to get to those. And they can be simple ones. You don't have to spend a lot of money on them. The children, it's really good. I've learned because I had one child who was way more advanced than I thought. And then I realized when she started reading how advanced she was. So then I kind of changed my approach. Then I had one student who I thought was more advanced, but actually wasn't. So that also changed your approach. So what I do to figure out like how advanced they are, not only do I read the notes on them before I have the class and see if there's anything the parents are asking for, like to talk slower, more hand motions, facial expressions, or whatever. I also gauge the student's reaction to questions and their reading ability. So like I'll have them read something and based off of how well they're reading or understanding, I can slow down or speed up the pace. Now I really like the fact that in some coursewares you don't have to do one class, one courseware. So the one class, one courseware is only for certain coursewares. Now you can go at the student's pace on other coursewares. You can spend 3 classes inside just one little courseware, which I have done right now with one student because she needs that more time to absorb the meaning of certain words. So that I like. Now the one class, one courseware I have not done yet. I'm going to be doing those next week for my first time. And I'm really a little nervous and if we're going to be able to get it through of it because one of them has like 46 slides. And one of them is like 37 slides, so we'll see. But these do seem to be advanced coursewares where there's a lot of reading and a lot of words and bigger words. So I'm hoping these students are very advanced and are going to roll along really quickly. Sorry, that's my cat being crazy. So I will give you guys an update on how the one class, one courseware goes, and we will see you next week.